Hello and welcome back to another FISBO Domination student interview. Today I've got a fellow Michigander, Mr. Blake Galley. Blake, thank you so much for being on with me today.
Brandon, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. My pleasure. So what I like to do on these, as you know, is kind of just talk through your story and our journey together. And so I want to start off with, you are in Traverse City, Michigan. How long have you been selling real estate?
So I got started in October, so for 9 months now, right around that 9 month period. So
Brand new.
Not super long.
Brand new. That's very cool. So how long have we actually been working together at this point?
So we've been working together probably I hopped on your FISBO Domination program. I think in total I've been on your program for about a month.
Got it. All right, cool. So for the first 6 months into real estate, what was life like? What was it like?
Inconsistent. So, I mean, I was, doing the work. I was, doing the prospecting, but it wasn't consistent. So I was getting deals here and there, which was good. I was getting traction, but there was no consistency. I didn't have a good morning routine down. Honestly, I had no schedule. So that's the biggest difference between then and now. So
I love it. So before just kind of going about it the way a lot of people that start is kind of just trying to look at every direction, trying to figure it out every day as you wake up to say, okay, how am I going to do this? No structure, no system, certainly no schedule. So let's talk through some of those things now, right? So let's first talk about skills and approach, right? That's really what I like to teach the most, because I think it has the biggest impact on an agent's business. So what are some things that you have learned recently from a skills and approach standpoint that you think has helped you the most?
So just from a skills standpoint, just really, I think kind of going back to what, when I first got started, no structure, no system, nothing, and no skills. Okay. So I learned when I got started, I was taught the fundamentals, but as far as some sort, and there was just no structure, no scripts, no nothing. Now, obviously the scripts aren't everything, but the scripts are a guide, and I didn't even have that beginning. So it was really just, I was lost. So now, I've got, the scripts and kind of more of just like a system, that's really what's really important when it comes to this business. You got to figure out a system and a strategy that not only works, but it works for you, for the person, not just, okay, what works. You got to make sure it works for you too, because you've got to really believe in it yourself, right, in order to, hang on to that and keep, moving forward with that, I guess. So from a skill standpoint though, just what you teach in itself, and what I really, really love about your program, Brandon, is it's very authentic. Okay. And I was in car sales for 6 years, and I love sales. I love helping people. But what I was always taught was just being super pushy, and just trying to force them into doing something that they don't want to do. And I was never about that. And I had a lot of clients tell me, hey, I really appreciate that you didn't pressure me into doing this. And you're probably one of the only guys that I've ever encountered that does it this way. And I've had so much good and positive feedback from doing that. That's just kind of how I am. I will be that resource. I will provide value, and I will show you, hey, this is what I can do. And then I will leave it up to you. You're the one that's going to make the decision ultimately. And that is what your whole system and approach is about. And that's why I absolutely love it.
That's so cool. Well said. And I totally agree, right? I mean, I've been in sales my whole adult life, and really for the first half was taught to, same thing, right? Be super aggressive, push harder, really try to overcome their objection and get them to make a decision now and, approach it this way and be, super high pressure and close the sale, right? Close. And so I think that as time goes on, the consumer responds less and less to that type of an approach. And I think that this new wave of selling from a consultant or an advisor's standpoint, we call it reverse selling. I really believe, Blake, and I think you're in alignment with this, that is the way sales should be done in the future. Would you agree?
Oh, absolutely. 100%. So Ryan Serhant, I follow him a lot, and I'm sure you know who that is.
Oh, yeah.
He says people don't want to be sold. They want to go shopping with friends.
Yeah.
And that just resonates with me and how I want my business to be ran, honestly. Nobody wants to be sold.
Nobody. So what does your day look like now? So now that you've been with us for a month or so, can you kind of walk people through that are watching this, like what a typical day looks like for you?
Super structured now, which, some days I'm like, God, I really don't want to do it. But you know what? This is why my business is really starting to explode. It's because I'm staying consistent and staying very structured, So I wake up at 5 a.m. every day. I'll get up and I'll read for a half hour, and then I'll get up, go to the gym. I would typically, before this whole COVID thing happened, I was already going to the gym as soon as I woke up. My gym doesn't open till 6. So what I do is I wake up at 5, I read till about 5:30, meditate for 10 minutes, and then I'm off to the gym for an hour. And then I come home, cold showers. This is one thing that I started implementing that I knew nothing about until I met you and
game changer.
got on your program. But I tell you what, it makes a huge difference. And everybody in my office that I've mentioned that to, they're like, what are you doing? Are you like, I can't imagine doing a cold shower. That's just insane to me. Yeah. And so I do cold showers every morning now. And then I get into the office about quarter to 8. And then I'm role playing, honest to God, I'm role playing for 45 minutes to an hour every single day. And then I'm on the phones from, 10 a.m. to noon, 10 or 9:30 to noon. So, and then after that, it's just appointments from there on out. And if I'm not on appointments, then I'm looking for appointments.
Why? So that's so beautiful. Like that, you just gave me goosebumps, right? Like that was the perfect day. And Blake, my question is, why do people in this industry want to just overcomplicate it? Because that was not earth shattering, right? Like you just outlined the perfect thing. The difference is, you actually do it. You're not just talking about it in theory. So now you get to reap the benefit of the foundations of the business. Why do people have such a hard time creating a schedule like yours, in your opinion?
Kind of like you said, I've heard you say it a couple times. People get into this business thinking that they're getting their time back. Oh, I'm going to be able to have my own schedule and I can do whatever I want whenever I want. And people who get into this business for that reason, they're gonna they're sadly mistaken very, very quickly because they're not making any money.
That's right.
So, but I think the reason why people have a hard time actually sticking to it is because it's tough. It actually is very tough. Yeah. Because one, you don't have somebody, unless you're, on a team. If you're a solo agent, you don't have somebody breathing down your neck, every second of the day wondering, hey, what are you doing? All right, what are you doing now? It's all on you. So it's hard to stay accountable. But two, when it gets tough, it's very easy to say, you know what, I'm just going to take the rest of the day off.
Yeah.
And just not do anything.
Yeah. And I agree with both of those two things, right? It's this framework or this mindset that this industry has caused, which is the reason why people fail out of the industry. We have marketed real estate as a industry of lack of accountability, lack of structure, freedom, get all your time back. And so that's attracted a lot of humans. Well, what happens is when they come into the world, the same things that attracted them are the same reasons why they fail. So that creates a big disconnect with inside the industry. So accountability certainly is key. Structure is certainly key. It's funny.
Mindset is key too.
What's that?
Mindset is very key. Bob Proctor, I don't know if you know Bob Proctor. He says, when you're successful in anything, whatever it is, if you want to be successful in your life, business, whatever, it's 95% mindset, 5% strategy. And he said, the majority of the people focus 95% of their time on strategy and 5 to maybe no percent on mindset.
Dude, it's so true. It's so true. And I couldn't agree more. That's why I have the mindset trainings, right? So what are some of the results you're getting now that you've got this structure? Oh, the one thing I was going to tell you or add on was this business also does not provide, instant payment or instant gratification based on the activities, which is another thing that most people are not used to, right? So you have to work really, really hard with no payoff for a little while. And that adds to how difficult this business is. It's very simple, but it's very hard. So what are some of the results that you're experiencing now that you've been consistent for the last month or so?
So with the consistency, I have been able to take two listings since I've started just this last, I'm on my second week of prospecting every single day. Now I've added a lot of people to my database, which I'm going to be following up with, and I'm going to get more out of this, but as of right now, I've got 2 listings. One's going live on Friday. We're getting the others signed in the next day or so. But that one is, that's going to be a close to $1 million deal. So that one is just mind blowing to me. Those small deals, like these deals that I'm getting now just from being consistent is what is helping me stay consistent. And throughout those days where it's like everybody's telling me to, get out of here, and then hang up on me or whatever, it's those few deals and that I'm getting is what's helping me stay consistent because I'm, seeing the results and they're there. As long as you show up every single day, every day, no matter what, you will get results. You just got to keep doing the work, just like you said.
That's right. And the thing about real estate is, it's okay to fail 90% of the time because the 10% yields a great income. And that's the part that's so cool. It's like, to your point, you've been consistent now for a couple of weeks and you're going to have over $1 million worth of business just in the first month, And so certainly if you do this for the next couple of years and for the rest of your career, you can now clearly see now the fruits of your labor and what that could turn into and how big you can build your business when you talk about hiring an assistant and now all you're doing is prospecting, going on appointments. So these are all things to look forward to. So what is your goal for the rest of 2020 and as we get into 2021?
So my initial goal was my very first year in real estate. I wanted to do $10 million in sales. So I'm on track right around to do about 6 right now. I'd love to push it a little bit more than that, try to get to like 8. Okay. I want to try to still stick to the 10, but that was my initial goal was 10 and then COVID hit and everything. Right. It is what it is. There's nothing you can do about it. So you just got to keep making more phone calls and just prospect more. So, and keep following up with people. That's the biggest thing too, is following up is just, that's the number one thing too, is where I'm getting my business a majority of the time is from that 4th follow-up, 5th follow-up, 6th follow-up. It's not that 1st or 2nd follow-up. It's, I've got to stay, I got to keep interacting with these people and keep following up. And that's where I'm getting it. And I think that's another reason why a lot of people that's where they're losing deals too.
That's a really good point. Cause I was just about to ask you, what advice would you give to somebody who's new to prospecting? And that's certainly one of them, is that we've got to get out of this mindset of you're going to talk to somebody one time and try to go set an appointment and then go get the listing on the first appointment. I mean, this is what the industry, the guys like Mike Ferry, I got respect for them, but that's what they've all led us to believe, is that you can prospect, make 20 contacts, set 2 listing appointments, go on those appointments, get the listing the same day. It's like, wow, that's pretty simple. Then people start it and it's like, that's not the reality. The reality is it takes a massive amount of follow-up to convert a lead. Would you agree?
Absolutely. 150%. Honest to God. Yep. Yeah. And I think that's why a lot of the failure rates, I think it's up to like 90% now, because I think the information out there is from, it's all old news, now the new age is, look, people don't want to be sold.
That's right.
People want to go shopping with friends, and they don't want to be pressured into doing something they don't want to do.
Yeah.
So you come on as, as a resource, and just stay top of mind, like you always teach, and be the obvious choice.
Love it.
That's another thing I wanted to add too is, what I've been really learning, and I'm seeing a lot of results from, is detaching from the outcome. Like, holy smokes, it's so backwards, but it like makes sense, and it's a very, very powerful technique.
Yeah.
And it's amazing, but it's not taught.
That's right. It's probably the most powerful mindset teaching that anybody in business or in sales, certainly in real estate, has to absolutely master. And we have to fall in love with the actions that lead to the results, lead to the outcomes. That's what we have to obsess with. So my last question for you is what last pieces of advice? You've given a lot already. I think people will get a lot of value out of this, Blake. But is there anything else you would tell people that are new to prospecting, new to real estate sales, that really you think helped you the most, that can get them in the right mindset to just start taking action?
Find what works for you, but more importantly, have a structure, have a system, okay, how about this? Have a morning routine, like Jeff Glover talks about. You win the morning, you win the day, from 5 a.m., 6 a.m. to noon, have every single half an hour in that, first 5 or 6 hours just logged in your phone, have it on on your calendar, and just stick to it every single day. Be consistent, and the results will follow. You just got to do it enough. That's the problem. I think people, they try it for a week and they're like, man, I'm not getting any results, and then they just quit. I think you got to stick to it too. That's the biggest thing.
I love it. I love it. I always tell people the best advice I can tell you, the secret to this business is that there is no secret, and that it is consistency. That is it. Doesn't matter what you do as long as you're consistent. So Blake, thank you so much, man, for hopping on with me for a few minutes, dropping a ton of value for people. If people want a mastermind or certainly send you referrals up in Traverse City, how can they get a hold of you? So you can get a hold of me. I'm at Real Estate One off of Front Street. I'm also on Facebook too as well. So Blake Gallie, it's BLAYKE. And then Gallie's GALLIE. You can look me up on Facebook too. But yeah, we're up here off of Front Street. Get a hold of me. Awesome. Yeah, you're in a beautiful part of the state. So Blake, keep rocking and rolling, man. I can't wait to see what you can do in the next 6, 10, 12 months from now. So I appreciate you taking the time, and keep rocking and rolling. We'll talk to you soon, my man.
Thanks, Brandon. Appreciate it. Have a great rest of your day.
Bye.